Let's look at matters in Nigeria now. Some headlines. We got capital importation figures, 6.4 billion coming in. Double-digit growth year on year and quarter on quarter. Stock market was up yesterday, but this is what we're going to be focusing on. The High Court in Lagos reversing the CBN's, Central Bank of Nigeria's clearance of the management and board of Union Bank, saying and halting any further statements. The CBN has acknowledged that, saying it's going to ask for the certified true copy of that decision and go through from there. And then the CBN also directing international money transfer operators, IMTOs, to open Naira accounts for their funds that are sent from overseas coming into Nigeria. So Arise Business Analyst Chika Mbonu is with us to discuss. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Fine, thank you. So much headlines coming in. I wanted to get your take on the court's decision on the clearance of the management of Union Bank board and the management, and telling the CBN to put everybody back.
We always try to stay away from commenting on legal issues here.
Indeed.
First of all, because I'm not a lawyer, and I believe that this is still live.
Yeah.
You see, I was like, but I mean, we all know. Remember when the earthquake happened in, I think, January 2024?
That's correct.
When Central Bank came in, and I think 3 core banks in the system, and they came in and intervened and dissolved the boards, and a lot of issues arose from there. Basically, CBN came and said something is not right in these houses. Governance and regulatory issues exist, so we're stepping in. Now, the shareholders, I'm going to say, you can't just enter our house. You must and sack everybody anyhow. And run the company like without proper legal footing. For now, it seems that the courts have sided with the shareholders now in that respect.
Yeah.
That CBN didn't have that, but CBN, of course, as you read during your rundown, that CBN is going through the process, review, and then there are a lot of options. We're not legal people, but what we're going to just briefly talk about is the possible consequences. You see, if banking is not like a bakery,
right,
or like a telecom service. Banking is holding people's money in trust, and people want to make sure that their money is safe. So banking is almost substantially a confidence game. And the depositors want to make sure their money is safe, and then 2, the bank itself also doesn't want to lose his deposits.
Yeah.
Depositors feel uncomfortable. So there are a lot of things happening. I hope that CBN will be able to, and everybody involved in this will try to resolve it one way or another. Because at the end of the day, it can become the war of roses. In the sense that they were boxing, and remember what I said.
Yeah.
This is not CBN money that is there.
Yeah.
It's not the shareholders' money. It's not it's the business money that's important.
Everyday Nigerians.
Everyday Nigerians is important. So you can imagine the boardroom confusion, and it happened. At this difficult or this important stage where we're almost 31st. Remember.
That's right.
Recapitalization, and then from the statistics we got or report we got, Union Bank Titan or Union Bank has been ticked off as one of the banks that had made a recapitalization. Now, so if you have an issue now where all that has been decided, is all said to be illegal, how does that play out? So there'll be confusion of who can approve at the board level, who can approve transactions because of this judgment now, and there may be delays in strategic decisions if things are not resolved quickly. Maybe CBN will go and get a stay of execution, or maybe the 2 blocks will come together and say, in the interest of shareholder depositors, let's just settle this in amicably, and then let the bank run. And then, of course, urgent legal clarifications are required to make sure that we understand the implications of the judgment. So for the customers and the depositors, I said already, these are the people that face the biggest risk.
Yeah.
But CBN, that's why you saw the CBN release. It thought about that the business continuity, Bank continues to be safe. And the depositors realizes also that despite the things happening around them among the shareholder group and the corporate governance level, the deposits are safe. And then that Central Bank has assured that Union Bank is safe. and can continue to meet its ordinary day-to-day obligations.
Yeah.
And so your account, for customers' account deposit transfers, normal bank relationships should not be assumed to be at risk because the judgment alone. You know, the judgment does not put those at risk. And for CBN, I think this is a major setback, and for them, and they have to look at the processes again. Make sure that each time they're going on this kind of journey, they make sure they tighten all the cross all the T's and dot an I.
Yeah.
And I don't want to speak about whether there are any similar cases still outstanding. Shareholder cases still are standing with the two other banks. You know, that I know that one was resolved. One of the banks, let me avoid calling them names, and then the other one I think still has a litigation in process. So let me not just they're still in the cases are still there.
Yeah.
So let me leave it at there.
Gotcha.
For the banking system, the investors may demand stronger legal due diligence before anything. So I think, as I said, everybody must realize CBN.
Yeah.
The existing shareholders who went to court, that the most important thing is that the bank must be saved. Because if this boxing match continues, at the end of the day, they may have an empty house.
Yeah.
You know, because the business may feel customers may feel uncomfortable and have a run on the bank.
Okay.
And that's all I'm trying to avoid.
Gotcha. Real quick, the IMTO, the decision for the CBN, or directive rather from the CBN to IMTOs to open Naira accounts for funds that come through their channels. What do you make of that?
I mean, before they used to happen is that if your people send you $1,000,
Yeah.
oh, now, by the way, I was one of the proponents of the people who suggested then, because at the time, Central Bank was just saying, and I used to say that you have our brothers doing the odd jobs in far-flung places, and then when the money comes into Nigeria, you don't expect them to go to CBN and collect that time rate where there was differential of almost 300, 200, 300, you know, Naira, and that no amount of patriotism
that will make you...
that make me, you know, that. And the CBN, if they really wanted to get in dollars from these citizens and people in diaspora, they must make sure the rates are, you know, appealing.
Yes.
And close the gap. And getting people to be paid in dollar was one of the ways of doing it. So you collect your dollar and then go and find out how to settle it. Now, but you see, but now CBN is saying that, you know, it's changed. So now they're sending $1,000 from abroad. Your family receives Naira equivalent. I mean, what's happening here basically is, remember before now, the only thing I can tell you now, Rotis, is that the macroeconomic environment has substantially shifted.
Yeah.
You know, before we had some severe dollar scarcity, multiple exchange rates. When we talked about the CBN award, remember we said that large FX backlogs, confidence was low. CBN was like, just bring the dollar.
Yeah.
Just bring the dollar, you know, at all costs. Just bring the dollar, at all costs, you know. Anyhow, bring dollar, we'll go manage them. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that was the mentality then, you know. But now they don't chop belly full, you know. Yeah, they chop belly full. So dollar done the bako. So the market has stabilized.
Exactly.
Rates are narrower.
Yeah.
You know, reserves are stronger and inflows are coming more.
Yeah.
So focus on system discipline now, and the policy is no longer don't just bring dollar.
Yeah.
It is bring it properly. You know, so for several reasons also, so that we can keep the proper records, track it, and then know the total inflows and make sure that everything comes into the system. But see, let me quickly go to it. We may not have time again. The issue then is the pluses, but the downside could be the fact that, you know, we should avoid policies that chase our brothers and sisters to go back to the former ways. Yeah. If the differentials are large. Yeah. As I said, when any product has two prices in the same market, one product has two prices in the market, the sellers must always gravitate to the higher market. No, even if you put a gun on their head, even if they're going to jail them, you know, they will go to that. That's simple economies, rational economies, you know. So we want to make sure that does not happen, that the differential in rates is so much. Because the people who are getting the money really spend Naira. So it's convenient for them to actually, the plus today, receive in Naira, but you know, but the rates important. And the fact that they shouldn't go to the banks and there are delays. And suddenly, if your money is 1 million Naira, there are some bank charges
fees that will reduce
it
so
now. All those are very important. So CBN has to just make sure those do not happen.
Check on that.
Yeah, check on that.
All right, business analyst Chika Mbonu, thank you so much for talking to us, Chika. I appreciate your time as always.